Let's fix this.
I'm gonna say switch that around.
Reverse. Well, hello everyone. Happy Friday. Whiskey and Cannoli's podcast, episode number 19. Wow.
Flying by.
19,
It's flying by,
19
dude.
weeks. So hope everybody's doing well. Let's get everybody to come into the chat. So we got 7 people in here now. Let's go ahead and let everybody warm up, come in. We got a fun topic tonight. We got the popular fan movie theories. Could be TV shows too if you want to throw a few of those in, but we got popular, and I will explain what that means here in a few minutes. But in the meantime, just wanted to go ahead and welcome people in the chat real quick. So we got a few people waiting. All right, so we have
moment of truth.
Oh wait, hold on. We got Filipino Meatball was having technical difficulties before. Oh, and he's bounced out. This fucking guy. All right, so we got Jacob Ironside. Jacob, my man, how you doing, buddy? Advent Weird World Comedy in here. We got, of course, Mom Tutora, Daddy Tutora. Thank you for dropping in. Zombie Box Reviews. Hey, buddy, I appreciate you dropping in, Zombie Box. And then, of course, Darius. Moochhausen. I met him yesterday, actually, a new subscriber. Thank you very much. I was streaming Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and he popped in. We had a nice little conversation. So it was definitely nice to see him in there. And then thank you to all the new subscribers. It's been some weird stuff happening with the subscriptions where I've been gaining some, and then all mysteriously people are being unsubscribed. Don't know what's going on, but we're still up to right now. We're at 142, which is pretty damn good, since my goal was to be at 100 by the end of the year. So we're kicking ass and taking names. And let me see. Hold on a second. We got Filipino Meatball coming in here. He's been having some technical difficulty. Hey, Double G Greg, there's my man. Let's see if we can get him in the. Mr. Meatball, can you hear us?
Maybe.
Mr.
Hello.
Meatball. Paging Mr. Meatball. Look. He doesn't look. He's just.
All right, we're going no headphones today. Screw
Dude, yeah, screw the headphones.
Yeah, screw the headphones. I can still just yell.
Just
yell.
Just use the man voice.
That Papa. Hello. Oh, you dig it down, break headphones. I thought
Hey,
you
thanks,
Asian people
Greg.
were
Double
good at,
G.
like,
I appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you, friend.
so we wanted to,
appreciate it.
yeah, wanted to go ahead and real quickly. Probably the most important part of the whole day is that today is Veterans Day. So all you veterans out there, thank you for your service. Mr. Whiskey Banger. I already told him this morning, but again, thank you for your service, sir. Appreciate you.
No
is
problem.
this the time that we talk about you burning down a striker, or is that later?
I mean, that comes later. That comes later.
You can bring it up if you want. It's a pretty good story.
Yeah. So
That's every story that I ever introduced him to. Is, did you know that he burned down a striker?
that's what I've heard.
Burned it
That's what I've
to
heard.
the ground.
Yeah, we got some people in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, see, Zombie Box, you're having the same issue. He was at 2006, then went back down, so he lost a bunch, and then YouTube is doing their purge thing. They do this every once in a while, so very annoying.
And what does that accomplish? Is that like getting rid of like
They think they're getting rid of bots,
accounts that
and then
don't
they
do
all,
anything?
like if you're not actually active on somebody's account, like if you're subscribed but don't ever actually view their page, they see it as like a dead subscription, basically.
Gotcha.
So I hope that's not
Makes
what's
sense.
happening.
Sucks, but it makes sense.
All right, let me ask people in the chat. So I'm hearing that the chat online through YouTube is covering Whiskey Banger's beautiful face. Let me know in the chat if that's true, because that's not what I'm seeing, and I'm watching it on YouTube on another thing here. Unless it's just through the app. I don't know what's going on today.
We can't lose the prettiest one of the three.
No, I mean he's just look at that gorgeous. It's the hair. It's the hair. I hit it. Oh my god, I broke something. Let me see. Let me just find the stream.
That's what
real
made
quick.
HD so attracted to you.
Right? No, I actually on my end. I'm going through all the different devices I have here. By the way, I wanted to go ahead real quick, and Whiskey Banger and I talked about this earlier. I want to share this real quick before we start the actual podcast. Wanted to go ahead and talk about this real quick. Mr. Ken Conroy. This is a big topic today, of course, all over the nerd world, the comic book world. Mr. Conroy unfortunately passed away at age 66 today. He voiced Batman And everybody knows the Batman animated series and the video games, the Arkham series, and whatever other games or series there were. Batman, 85 episodes of the show. 66 years old. Unfortunately, looks like he died from complications of cancer today. So I wanted to give a quick shout out to Mr. Kevin Conroy. I know Whiskey Banger, this is your favorite Batman, right?
He is the Batman.
The Batman. Yeah.
How long did he voice
this
that?
God, he was
He's been doing it since the early 90s.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
so he was doing it
Okay.
for the animated series, all the video games, and then there was a bunch of other like in between animated movies. And he even has a list here of kind of all the years in movies right here. But iconic character, iconic voice, and yeah, like you said, the definitive Batman. So I wanted to give him a shout out. And yeah, unfortunately, he's not with us anymore, but he's always with us in the Batman games. We'll have him forever. I've been watching the Batman animated series today a little bit on HBO. That was fun. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat real quick. Subs left my channel, not due to YouTubers, but because they were horribly offended by the content. My man Advent, bringing the heat. So yeah, anyway. All right, so today's subject was actually a Filipino meatball subject. You're welcome. Yeah, this one he actually showed up for. Just kidding.
Hey, there's no tires to change. We are good.
Yeah, there's no emergencies, no tires to change.
I couldn't drive if I wanted to, but we're all right.
Yeah, we're good. So we came up with the idea of popular fan theories, fan movie theories, and he has his own. And I have a list here of a couple. I'm not sure if Whiskey Banger has some, but I know the chat's probably going to get involved in this too. So we could start with just basic movie theories, and these are popular fan theories throughout movies and what fans think actually happened to this character or about this character. So what do you think about this subject, though? Have you ever watched the movie and then afterward contemplated actually what you think might have been an interpretation of what the character had happened? Is there anything specific that stands out to you guys?
Recently, for me, I watched Inception, and I know I knew going in about the top, right? Like that was a spoiler that I had, but like looking back at it now, I'm like, I don't really know if the top really played that big of a. If you just ignore the top, right, and just go with it, like I don't know, maybe to me it's an alternate like theory going through that they just drop the top information there just to throw you off.
Yeah, I can see that. That is one of the theories here. I think that on the list as well as the Inception, the ending of Inception, what it meant. I like Jacob Ironside here. The Rock is a Bond movie theory. That actually is true. I read about that.
Did you really just take one of my movie theories?
Yeah, he did.
That's a good one, though.
Weird World, Tremors and Footloose take place in the same town. They ban dancing so the graboids don't get riled up. There you go.
I like it.
I do like that. Yeah, I was on.
Very easy to get me to put on a tinfoil hat and go down that path.
I was on After the Weekend show on Monday doing a Tremors review, and I love that movie. That movie is so just typical 90s cheese, but it's so good. Let's see here. So
do you know that that's a top 100 sexual awakening movies of all time?
You said that, and then there was the Tremors. God, what was it? That Twitter account that came in with all that Tremor knowledge. God, I forgot the name. God, that guy, you and him were dropping knowledge bombs about that movie in the comments, and I didn't know that, and it's actually true. I can't believe it's actually true. Very interesting. I don't know why.
I have no idea why. And I'm like, what is it from the one scene where they grab that girl's jeans and like rip them off? But like it was like 10 seconds and nothing. Weird. But I don't know. But it's like 80 something on the top 100 movies.
Very weird. I don't understand it. Yeah. But there is a
Maybe
whole saga.
Maybe it's the precursor to anime. Just saying.
I don't know. Could we all just say that Bert is the greatest character ever created, though?
That I would give up so much to be Bert.
Bert is a badass. That's all.
He's my idol.
Yeah, he is amazing. Let's see here. I'm just going. Hey, Sean, what's up, Sean? I'm just waiting for people to kind of roll into the comment section here. Sean's a good dude. He's always promoting our shows. He's a good man. So before we get into the first topic of the first movie, I have So Monday, just to kind of promote, I have a show, my own show coming out. I'm actually having a couple of guests on. We're gonna do a movie review of the movie Heat. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. A little discussion. That's gonna be fun. Wednesday, I got invited to JT Gunn Late Night with Cap show at 7:30 p.m. our time, Mountain Standard Time. I'm gonna be on there, and then of course next Friday we'll be back. So I got a busy goddamn week of shows. Anyway, how are you guys doing? Getting stuck in doorways, playing Call of Duty. Is
doorway.
God. Listen, I always, it's amazing. I'm doing fine until Meatball gets in, and then he just throws me off. Because all I'm thinking is stay out of the doorway, and I'm just like, I get all frazzled.
I was watching you. I was watching your whole stream today, dude.
Yeah, I did good in parts and not other parts. I do like that.
You started off strong, dude. Like you were playing pretty well, and then you were just getting sloppy with the aim down sights. You were trying to throw too many grenades, and you're just eating bullets right to the face.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
Like, he's a bullet sponge.
Yeah, he's a bullet sponge. Like
it was fun.
I was talking crap about you like in doorways, and then the next map is you on like that road where you're just weaving through traffic.
Yeah. I do love the belt fed M4 though. I'm not gonna lie, the 100-round mag.
That Icarus.
The only problem,
awesome.
The Icarus, the only problem with it is reloading takes some time. So I was getting destroyed trying to reload the damn thing. But
find some cover.
Yeah, I was trying. Okay, I got people trying to attack me with missile launchers.
You're trying to reload
Semtex grenades. I can't help it.
You try to reload a mag in the middle of a doorway. With no smoke, no nothing, just chilling.
Nothing.
Yeah, taking a knee in a doorway.
Right.
Yeah.
Tactical pause, guys. Hold on.
Hold on. Could you please not shoot? Please, can you hold on while I take 15 seconds to reload? What do we got here? Real World Comedy says the Flintstones and the Jetsons take place in the same time. The Flintstones live at the bottom and the Jetsons live at the top of the clouds.
Now, see, I've heard a similar theory to that, but it's the Flintstones are actually in the future, but like post-apocalyptic future.
Like a dystopian future.
Yeah, and the Jetsons are up in like Elysium, up in the sky kind of thing.
I like it.
Pretty interesting.
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins.
Okay. So my first one, I'm gonna go with the first one here, and then we'll kind of move around.
Yes.
My first one, this is a list that I printed. So one of my favorite movies. I know Meatball loves this movie. I don't know if Whiskey Bang actually likes the movie because it's based on the subject, but in the movie Field of Dreams, we all know Terrence Mann, right? Terrence Mann was the author, right, in the movie. If people in the chat know Field of Dreams, I think most people do. So in the theory is that he was actually dead the entire time in the movie. So in the movie Field of Dreams, Ray, who is Kevin Costner, was visited by a ghost of Shoeless Joe Jackson. Obviously, you hear the voice, if you build it, he will come. In 2022, that has a different meaning, but we won't go there. But so Ray is told to ease Terrence Mann's pain at one point. So he seeks out to find him. I think he drives all the way to Boston, right? Because that's where he was. Yeah. Fights him to a baseball game at Fenway Park. And during the game, he can hear the ghost say, "Go the distance," right? Then at the end of the movie, Terrence Mann visits the field, can see all the dead people immediately, and then he's invited to go into the corn, right? Hey, JT Gunn, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. JT Gunn Late Night with Cap. We'll be on his show Wednesday. So Terrence goes into the corn, and then there was a whole, he has this great speech about baseball in America and all this. But the theory is only dead people can go into the cornfield, right? Because that's the only people coming in and out. So, Meatball, I'll start with you because this is a movie we both love. What do you make of this theory? You think that's true? Was he dead the whole time?
On baseball movies alone, that sits at like number 4 all time for me, right? So it's not like my favorite baseball movie, but I really like that movie. And then I heard that theory on it, and then you rewatch the movie with that fan theory, and you're like, okay, this might be number 1 or number 2. Because it changes your whole perspective of it, and it makes it like almost deeper than like at the end. If you just believe it, just to watch it one time and believe it, right? At the end, you're like, "How is this not the right? This is what it means."
Seriously, I mean, obviously, this theory came like years after the movie was out because we didn't have the technology to talk about this stuff. And then I heard it when I was younger, just kind of dismissed it as a kid or a teenager, like, whatever. Now it does kind of make sense. It does hold some precedent there because, I mean, the whole point of him he was a big part of the story, right? Of why his father had to show up. So I kind of do think that is possibly true. Only thing that would deter that is, well, people were saying, well, the wife and kid can see him, right? So how is that possible? Well, the wife and kid can see everybody else too. So they were part of it, right? They could see all the dead baseball players and all that. So I like this theory actually. And because it's one of my favorite baseball movies. I know Whiskey Bang. I don't know how long ago you've seen this movie. I know baseball's not your top. What do you think about that? Do you remember any of that? Do you kind of like?
I've seen the movie before. It's a good movie. I mean, baseball sucks. I don't like baseball, but I mean, it's a good movie though. Like I've watched it a couple times in the past, but I've never watched it with that kind of fan theory lens. So I'd have to go back and rewatch it again. So that's why I've been quiet.
I highly recommend it. Go into the fan theory, like get the details of it, and then go watch it, and it changes the whole movie for you.
Yeah,
right.
It does. I think a bigger misinterpretation of the movie is, yes, it is a baseball movie, but that's not really the heart of the movie. It's really about his father and son kind of thing. I think if you look at it from that lens, Whiskey, maybe it'll seem different. I know, like, I don't know, like, that's just the way I see it. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. But yeah, as far as that theory, I do like that theory because it does make sense in the whole scheme of the movie. So that's just the first theory. Does there somebody else want to pick up another theory here and then move on? Or
I got one. I got one.
Go ahead.
I'm willing to bet a shot that neither one of you have heard of this one.
Probably not.
Okay.
Don't say
I don't know. Have you guys watched The Hunger Games?
Read it?
I've only
watched
it.
I've watched them. Yeah.
I've watched them. I watched the first one, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So I watched the entire series of Hunger Games because I had a really good friend in high school that started watching the first one, and then like you watch the first one, you got to watch the next one. Went all the way through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Hunger Games. So you guys know the premise of the whole Hunger Games is, right?
Yeah, I know what the movie's about. Yeah.
So the fan theory is it's a dystopian prediction of what it would have looked like if America had lost the Revolutionary War. The capital is England, and the 13 districts are the 13 colonies. And so as like payback for losing the Revolutionary War and being loyal servants and whatever, they have these every single year for entertainment purposes for English people. And then if you look at the people from the capital, right, they're all really dressed up fancy with the weird makeup and stuff, just like it would have been for the parliamentary for England back in the day, right? And then so the revolution is that second revolution from America trying to separate from the capital, which would have been England. That's the fan theory.
Interesting.
That I absolutely love.
Interesting.
That's very interesting. Yeah,
I actually like that because based off of what I know about the movie and the whole history of the movie, I could see that. So that's very plausible, of course. I actually like that theory because it's not a series. Like I haven't watched the entire series, so I can't be an expert on it. But I did watch the first one. I know people in my family who love that series, so that kind of does make sense. And I do like, yeah, I like that theory.
A big thing that they like, I went into it because I had heard that theory and I thought it was great, and then I went into it for like research for this, and they're like, if you notice, all the districts are different, right? Like they do different things. Just like the 13 colonies, like some were, farming, some were more industrial, more city life, more, kind of. I was like, dang, this kind of. My tinfoil hat went on, and I went down a rabbit hole.
I like it. They made what? Was that how many movies did they make out of the Hunger Games? Was it a trilogy?
I think it was 8. No,
wow,
no,
really?
That's 100% wrong. Was it 4?
Okay. I want to say it was 3 or 4.
I've seen 2 that I know of.
I remember. I think it's a trailer. Anybody know in the chat if you watch the Hunger Games?
There's 4.
I
just
it was
looked it
4.
up. Yeah. There's Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay 1, and Mockingjay 2.
Wow. Okay.
I really
see now. I got to go back and watch these movies. Damn it!
I know it's been so damn long.
Because there's so many movies that I've seen that are just like meh, like whatever. But then there's this like new twist on it, and it's like, okay, that's a lot more interesting than stupid Hunger Games. Like,
right, and like I didn't like the Hunger Games when I watched it, but I watched it with my friend because we went through the whole, like, he started the series, we're gonna finish the series, right? And then I found this one, and I was like, oh my god, that changes my whole like picture on this. Dad! Don't do it.
Okay, that's a good one actually. Hunger is no. I never seen it. Hunger is no game. Oh my god, that's a good one. All right, so that's a good one with the Hunger Games. Because it's something I never would have been on my radar, so I do like that one. It's a good pick. Whiskey, do you have one?
I do, and this one. So I was kind of ranting a little bit about not seeing movies that end up being better when you see it after you look through it at a different lens. But the one movie you and I have talked about this before. One movie that once I heard the fan theory, I went back and watched the movie again, and it makes the movie 10 times better.
Oh boy!
And it's M. Night Shyamalan's freaking
Signs.
Now I'm totally Signs, yeah. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's all about this alien invasion and all this stuff. Okay, no, the fan theory basically is that the aliens are actually demons, and he is the reason why the demons come to Earth, because he's a priest or preacher. I don't remember exactly which one.
Right.
Wife dies in a car accident. He starts to lose his faith. He's not going to church anymore. He's not believing anymore. He's starting to question his beliefs. And all of a sudden, these creepy aliens just start, aliens show up. And when you go through the movie the first time, it just kind of seems dumb, right? Like they don't even really go into why the aliens are there or what they're doing. And then all of a sudden, like, this little girl is putting glasses of water everywhere and stuff like that. So it's just these weird things that just like don't really make sense, right? And then these aliens, they show up to a freaking planet that's like 75% water, and it actually is what ends up being their demise. It's what kills them. It just doesn't really make sense. It doesn't add up. So it's like it makes this movie that's kind of decent turn into like, okay, that's kind of weird. But like when you use the fan theory, put that lens on, all of a sudden it's like, okay, you got a preacher who's losing his faith, right? These demons start showing up. Satan's coming to get him. The minions are coming to get him. The water that the little girl leaves around the house is obviously blessed by the preacher, right? So it's holy water, and that's why it hurts them. And now there's some, some of it's a little bit of a stretch, like the scene where I don't know what the kid's name is, but it's Macaulay Culkin's little brother. He's like holding the little baby monitor like up to the sky.
Oh, up to the sky to get that.
Yeah, like inferring that they're aliens from like another planet or whatever.
Right.
So like, yes, there's some subtle little things there that make it seem like, okay, yeah, it is aliens, but it's like you never really get like a good look at the ship or anything. You don't really get a good look at them until the very end of the movie, and even then, they don't look like a stereotypical gray alien. They look like some weird, creepy, even like they're the little claw thing coming out from underneath the door. So I am a firm believer, if you're gonna throw a few back and have a couple of glasses of booze,
watch that again.
Watch that movie under the idea that it's more of a religious.
Are you saying I should go watch it tonight?
You should watch it tonight.
You know what's funny about that movie? We've talked about this movie I don't know how many times about why I like the concept of the movie. I just the payoff, man, it just kills me because I don't because of the initial theory of the movie as to how like these things can cloak themselves in the sky and how these aliens can basically hide among us and travel these millions, do galaxies or whatever, basically get to Earth, but they can't open doors. And they're afraid of water, like not knowing that the Earth is water, mostly water. So I will say one thing about M. Night Shyamalan's movies. He does build suspense very well. I think R2 had a thing, like scene where an alien walks by on the news broadcasts. Totally capture the Patterson Gimli Bigfoot film.
It does. It looks exactly like
it. It does. It was
yeah,
and that was a good scene. Like for its time, it was good. It was creepy. He builds suspense well, and you had the family drama dynamic, so those parts were okay. Everything just leading up to everything in the climax. His payoff is, I think, is just ridiculous. Now, though, when Whiskey and Banker talk about this fan theory about how they were demons, and because he's a priest, I look at the movie through that lens now. I see it that way. And I like it better. It actually improves the experience of the movie for me. Because if I don't look at it that way, I literally get angry about how stupid the plot is.
It comes off as pretty stupid.
It does. It's just, wait, hold on. First of all, R2 says Filipino meatballs balls are showing. Thanks, R2. Yeah, thanks, R2. I got R2. I got a little project R2 is working on with me right now. We're working on some kind of funny, maybe comedy intro to the show that we're working on with him. We're gonna try to work some clips out. And we're gonna do some stuff. R2's obviously the man of the YouTubes, as they say. Weird World. Okay. Super Mario 3 was a stage. Oh, I got to put this on. Super Mario 3 was a stage play that never happened. Curtains at the beginning of Mario always exits stage right. It's a play. We were the audience.
That's a valid
one. I buy it. I actually like that.
When you look at a lot of the stuff in the actual stages, it looks like props, right? Like it doesn't look like anything from like Super Mario or.
I actually really like this theory.
Super Mario World.
Weird World Comedy Advent comes up with some. Yeah, he comes up with some awesome. And you see, R2 Wiki is saying it's true. It's actually true. Yeah. Well, hold on, Stove. I play Mario way too much. R2, fuck you. I like signs. Stovepipe. You can like the movie. Think like for a rational thinking man like you are. Think about the plot for a second. How stupid it is without that theory.
You're being too nice. I invalidate everything he says until he fixes a Mark II sitting on a freaking Anderson Lower. I can't. You're being invalidated.
Always with the guns. Always with the guns. Yeah, Jacob, this is what I'm talking about. Human beings are 60% water, yet the aliens are just the guys. What do we just spit on them and just kill them? Like, wouldn't it be that easy? Just And
then call him daddy.
And they call him daddy. Spin on him, call him daddy, and aliens go away. Oh, hi Diana. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, so that's one of that's a good one. Signs is one of my favorite ones because I have to think of it that way. It's the only way I can get through the movie now. So this next one's also a very popular one that I'm going to talk about. This one was actually just brought up recently. I heard about it. Jesus, R2. What the fuck? Like, okay. Hey, whatever you're into, R2, is cool with me, buddy.
Wow.
He went there. R2 goes there. Whatever gets the job done to get the aliens off of Earth, I mean, give him a rub and a tug and you're done.
We got enough.
Wait, what? For that? Stovepipe says, I bet you don't buy the plot to that adult film with the lemons. What are you talking about? Oh, Left Eye Ego. What's up, Left Eye? Don't mind me, guys. Just actively shopping on the Cannoli Sasquatch merch store. Appreciate that. By the way, the merch store is pinned to the comment, and it's also in the description. So thank you.
What is Stovepipe talking about?
Stovepipe, what are you talking about as far as like watching?
What he got me watching is like that whole Shrek fan thing where it was like, I love Shrek. You love me.
Yeah. That's the creepiest thing I've ever seen, by the way. I can't. I have to move on. There's no way you guys haven't seen it. I don't know. Listen, if there's something you need to tell me, send me the name of it or text it to me or something, because I have no idea what you're talking about. Maybe I have. I don't know.
We watch good things, not
yeah.
I love Shrek and Shrek loves me, whatever it was.
Oh, the Shrek. That thing scarred me for life.
Do you know what scarred me for life? A Mark 18 upper on a fucking Anderson.
Oh my god!
I have nods and I have all this stuff. I have a Peck 15. Oh, on what? An Anderson lower. God.
Anderson lower. You're never gonna let it go, are you?
Never.
You're never gonna let it go.
Freaking Arrow Precision.
Wait. Chick is stealing lemons in this couple's yard, and they. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, sure.
I mean, I feel like Stovepipe left out the whole step cousin neighbor thing in there because that's probably what he watches. So here's probably why we don't know what he's talking about.
I think I'm scarred for life. What is he? What is Weird World saying here? Ash sees the first episode. Anyone who sees him is promised eternal happiness. Ash's happiness is being 10 and catching Pokemon is why he'll never. These theories. The fan theory that She-Hulk is an ogre. And I'll tell you what the She-Hulk is. She-Hulk is shit. Is what the She-Hulk is. But I'm sure I can go with the theory. She's a shitty ogre. But ogres have layers. So, all right, R2. R2. Let me know how that movie is, R2. Seriously, I want to know how that Weird Al movie is on Roku. Because I might want to do a stream on that, or not stream, but like an actual review. So the next one I'm going to pick is a very popular one. This came up just recently. It's Ferris Bueller is Cameron's split personality.
I love this one.
Interesting.
So, we all love the movie Ferris. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. But what if we told you that Ferris Bueller never existed and was actually in Cameron's way to cope with dealing with his overbearing father? So consider, for instance, how Ferris and Cameron are opposite people. Ferris pushes Cameron to face his father, and Cameron says, Ferris, you're my hero. So what if Cameron made him up in his head to deal with his issues? What do you think about that one? Hey, Vex Electronica, thank you so much for dropping into the chat. Awesome. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
It's interesting. It's Tyler Durden before Tyler Durden.
Yeah.
So I now have to go back and watch that because I like Ferris Bueller. It's a fun movie and whatnot, but the dude annoys the crap out of me.
Ferris Bueller.
I liked the theory when I first heard it, and then I rewatched the movie, and I'm like, I don't buy it. Like,
not feeling it.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. Like, I love the idea of it, right? Because it's like you said, it's Fight Club before Fight Club. And then I rewatched it, and I'm just like, I'm not buying it.
But look at Vex's thing here. But explain Cameron's zone outs throughout the film, because he does have periods where he does zone out of kind of reality once in a while. What do you make of that?
It's called meth.
It's called meth.
So, you think he's just smoking some meth pipe or smacking?
I mean, if you just want to see the effects of that, just go to any Democrat-led city.
Gee, well, we're about to be one, so we'll say
we're about to turn into Philly real quick.
I was gonna say,
Kensington Street. Have you watched those videos?
It's bad.
Dude, yeah,
it's really bad. Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. LA's even worse though, but we'll get there soon. Yeah, so I like this fan theory, and I don't know if I 100% buy it, but I get where. Wait, hold on. Not only that, Vex says, none of that, but he makes moves on the girlfriend, but is too shy to approach the woman. Ferris is who he wants to be in multiple levels. That is true, because he does talk about how throughout the movie, how he wishes he was more like him. What is Weird World coming up with? Hold on, we're switching. Will is actually dead in The Fresh Prince. He got in a fight and died, and the cab driver is God taking him to the afterlife.
I've heard that.
Oh, okay. So he's living in a Beverly Hills, man. Like, just that whole thing is just, hey, you know what?
I watched a 45-minute video explaining it, and they're like going through the episodes or whatever as it goes through. And then the end, right when everybody moves out and he moves on, is when he actually ascends to heaven. Like this, he had to go through this in order to make it to heaven, right? That purgatory in the middle, and then at the end he ascends to heaven. That's why everyone leaves. And I was just like, I was sitting there. Granted, it was 3:00 in the morning, and I'm like, this is 100% fact. Will Smith has been lying to us the whole time.
You know what? I actually wouldn't deny it. I don't deny that. I actually kind of like that. And then the teacher, when he's calling out Bueller's name on the roll call, nobody even twitches at the name. Good point, because he's Bueller. It's a famous scene, right?
Bueller.
I kind of like that. All right, I like that theory. I'm going to go with it. You know why? Because this makes a lot of these movies more interesting. Some movies don't need the theory. I think they're so good. I'm going with this one. So we're going to say Ferris Bueller is the split personality of Cameron because that's what I want to believe. So, all right, who's got the next one?
I got one.
Go.
One of my all-time favorite movies, Grease. Sandy died at the beginning, and all of it is a hallucination of her, of what could have been because she died at the beach.
You would like that movie.
What the? How do you not like Grease?
Dude, Grease is like.
Are you kidding me? The original
I'm not a fan of the Grease.
OG Grease.
All Grease.
That is. Yeah.
It's got Johnny Travolta.
I love it. I love it.
God, I hate John
Travolta.
I agree. When I was a kid, I liked Grease. As I grew up, I really.
I don't know how I'm friends with you guys.
No, but that theory does make sense. That is a theory that I have heard. My parents have even talked about that theory because they love that movie, right? So because of the whole ending too, right? Because they float away in a car
into the clouds.
It's weird. It's just fucking weird how it ends like that. Just out of nowhere. Like there's no sci-fi element to the whole movie. It's weird, and then they just fly off. People could say, "Oh, it's fantasy." Like, no, those people were dead. They were angels flying to heaven, ready to go. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, Vex. He fucked her. He did. That's my favorite saying right now. By the way, this is literally my favorite saying. He fucked around and he found out. I love it. We got some cool, funny things in here. Donkey was the kid. Wait, hold on. Donkey was the kid. Donkey from Shrek is one of the kids in Pinocchio who got turned into a donkey and grew up.
Yep.
Holy shit. I never thought about that, actually. Wow.
There's a whole line of really dark, like graphic novels on that.
Really?
Like I would not recommend reading them to your children, but there's like 4 or 5. I don't remember who the author was, but I remember like reading the first one and being like, this is a little too dark.
That's scary. It's because now I'm never gonna look at Donkey ever the same. Thanks, man.
Basically what the graphic novels goes through is that it goes through that one. Shrek is the first one, right? And then it picks up any movie that has a donkey in it, and they're like portraying what that, and it was so creepy.
Wow, that's interesting. I never even thought about that. That is pretty interesting, though. Okay, I can buy that. Weird World Comedy. Marty McFly caused his own inability to back down by giving his father confidence. Huh. Okay. I see, because of the whole, if they called him, what was the term they called him in Back to the Future that he always pissed him off? Yellow, I think is right. And when they called him Yellow, he got very angry and lost control. I can kind of see it. Hey, I like Vex. I love this one because this is one of my favorite movies. Both movies are great. I actually like this theory. The Martian is the backstory to Matt Damon's character in Interstellar.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Because first of all, both two great movies, by the way.
So basically, he comes back, has PTSD from his stint on Mars, and then they send him back out in Interstellar. Loses his mind,
gets stuck on that machine forever because he's waiting.
Yeah, he's sitting there waiting forever. So PTSD's kicking in, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm not gonna get stuck here again."
Yeah, and that's why he starts crying when they pull him out of the machine. Chicken. I'm sorry, it was Chicken. That's what Marty McFly was called. Chicken.
What are you, chicken?
Chicken. Okay, I don't know what I was saying. Yellow. Fuck.
I'm pretty sure they say that in the third one though. What are you, yellow?
Oh, because he's in the West, right? The Wild West. Actually,
Yeah.
you know what, dude? I'm not gonna lie. I actually like the third one more as I got older. It's not great.
Dude.
I'm gonna go on an
No.
unpopular opinion here, and the wife is gonna kill me. The first and the third one are better than the second one. I'm sorry.
I agree.
I like the second one, but it's nothing like the first and the third.
I've watched none of them.
You've never
How do you never seen Back to the Future?
I don't know. I've never seen
you're
it.
hyping up Grease.
That's a
But you've never seen Back to the Future.
Literally hyping up Grease.
It's an all-time.
Grease lightning. But
You
this is
see
it.
me- you
Grease
see
lightning.
the disappointment.
Grease lightning.
Disappointment in my
I
face.
mean,
It's
it's
really
pretty much
sad.
all I
by
ever
the way.
do with you is disappoint you.
It is.
I'm out. Yeah, I kind of am with Whiskey Banger on that one. I'm to never see Back to the Future.
Never.
Dude.
Why do I even talk to you?
And that's and that's a nice little it would have been a nice caveat into mine. Have you
But no,
had seen it, but you haven't
No.
because you suck balls.
Weird World. I think anybody who watched
Okay.
Mary Poppins was on drugs. He's got balls. His balls are hanging out. Mary Poppins probably was on. So was it acid she was on, or was it opioids?
It's got to be acid.
And look, Vex is like, dude, Back to the Future is a must. It's a must watch. Like you have.
It
It's
is.
one of those.
Let me ask this: does it hold up to today? Like if I watch it today,
Yes.
120%.
Okay.
It's a product of its time, but it's an 80s movie. But
Like I say, Top Gun holds up to today. Like you can watch Top Gun and be fine, and then you can watch Maverick and be fine, right?
I would
like-
say yes, because half of Back to the Future they go back to the 50s, right? So what's your
fair.
interpretation of what the 50s was? Like there's the 80s, and it goes
Did-
back.
Do they backhand women and tell them to get back in the kitchen?
I mean,
No.
yeah, I mean that's
No,
it's the only way to live, right? Well, that's probably happened behind closed doors, but
Oh, but okay.
I
thought that was.
have you ever wait, hold on. Have you ever covered the Willy Wonka is a Nazi doctor? I've never heard of this before.
What?
Interesting.
Have you?
I've
heard
He's
never
a
heard
Nazi. That would not surprise me because that movie scared the shit out of me as a kid, especially that scene, the original Willy Wonka when he's going in that tunnel and all those. Listen, okay, Vex, you're gonna have to maybe another time explain that one because that is a very interesting.
No,
hey,
we don't
theme
need
park
another comment.
casual.
We need
Thank you
it
for
now.
dropping
Fill up the comments. I need to know.
in. This comment right here, for a second,
First
I forgot what
off-
she was talking about.
No, Mrs. Sasquatch. It's the opposite. His mom wants to bang him. Totally normal.
What?
You got to watch the movie.
You gotta watch the
Meatball,
movie.
so
You don't even know what
missing
we're
the
talking
content.
about.
Bro, I don't
Such
know
a
what
content.
movies you're watching.
Such a
Are
loser.
they on Pornhub? Is that
Listen,
where you're
in the
getting these movies from?
incest was the best, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm getting kicked off
Shit.
YouTube. Well, a Weird World. I like this Weird World because this is one of my favorite shows ever. This is the show now, but I like this. George from Seinfeld made his brother commit suicide. His parents always accuse him of the unknown wrong. And when he's at the dinner table with his family, it's always a vacant spot. You know what? I can see that. Well, wouldn't you commit suicide if you had Estelle and Frank as parents?
Jesus.
Okay, so here it is. Willy Wonka opened a factory post World War II and continued his experiments in public eye. Children were the best subjects to the doctors during World War II. So is that why he had all in the movie? Because that's what happens in the movie, right? These kids go through this weird
Yeah.
shit all the way through the movie, and
I want to get blown up to a giant blueberry.
the blueberry. The Snowsberries taste like Snowsberries.
Yeah, I've actually watched this movie. I'm proud of myself.
You've seen Willy
You watch
Wonka.
Willy.
I
Hold on,
have.
you've
Not-
seen Willy Wonka, but
not
you have
Charlie
not
and the
seen Back
Chocolate
to the
Factory.
Future.
I have never seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
You're not
but
missing
I have
anything.
watched
You're not
Willy
missing
Wonka.
Okay, I'm a little bit proud of you now. A
There we
little
go.
bit.
I don't understand you. Like you're such an enigma. You watch.
I will say
Grease?
that I watched the Gene Wilder scene with him going through the tunnel in the Chocolate River.
Oh,
where he's
okay, yeah.
Bro, that used to
It's the
just give me,
creepiest part of the movie.
Right. I would just sit there and be like, I don't understand, but I have to watch this over and over again until I understand it. And I could never understand it.
Sean, I don't know where this show is going either, Sean. But we're talking about popular fan theories and topics for movies, but we're kind of just Vex just dropped knowledge on us, and it would explain the physical changes in the children and give her backstory to the Oompa Loompas. Actually, that does make sense. I like this one.
For the record, there's also another fan theory that the Oompa Loompas that would actually give this credit to this were stolen tribesmen from the Philippines because of the size of them.
Right.
And so like
small,
and that was like part of that makes sense because World War II, US controlled the Philippines. They take
Philippines
Loompas back, make them into a chocolate factory. We're going down the path.
Okay. All right, Vex. You opened up a can of worms, and I love it. It's beautiful. Yes, Jacob Ironside. I have heard that theory a million times. I actually do. I don't know if anybody, Whiskey. Have you ever seen Breaking Bad?
Yes, that was actually one of my examples.
It's a great show.
The one they're talking about.
Well, is this it right here?
Yeah,
because this is. You might as well get into it now since you're on the spot.
So basically, so Breaking Bad is the prequel to Walking Dead, and Walter White, like you said, Walter White's drugs ends up resulting in the zombie apocalypse because in The Walking Dead, Merle, the piece of shit from like the first, in like I think it was the first, or I think it was the second episode. He pulls out some. It looks like the same, blue meth, and he even says, "I got it from a janky, skinny white guy," and that's a lot like Jesse Pinkman. And there's just a lot of like quotes that he says that's very similar to Breaking Bad. So I mean, it's not like. It's more like breadcrumbs kind of sprinkled in where you can kind of tie the two together, but it's like you really have to think about it and like watch it.
It does make sense though, right? Because they predate. So obviously I watched Breaking Bad. It was a great show. And then I think Walking Dead I kind of picked up after that. But it does follow the timeline, right? It does make sense because they even throw references because it's made by the same AMC, right? Both shows.
Yeah.
They even throw references in The Walking Dead too, like when this happened. They didn't really go into detail too much about why the zombie thing happened, but there was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and if I'm wrong, tell me in the chat too, that they talked about, like it was a reference to his actual drugs doing his meth actually causing it. So it's really weird, but I do like the theory. Now, I don't know if the showrunners were just doing it just to kind of plant seeds, make it fun for the audience, but
there's another fan theory that ties into that it's Breaking Bad, World War Z, Walking Dead.
So it just goes like one to one, and then so there's 3 parts basically.
Right. So like Breaking Bad, they create the zombies, then they're at the level of World War Z where they're like the super fast, superhuman ones. And then they break down so much from it that they become the Walking Dead style of zombies.
Yeah, okay. Like their skin and bones are hanging out.
Yeah.
I like it. I like real world comedies one here. Beetlejuice is Batman's crazed ghost. Same director, same same actors. Oh my fucking god! Please kick him off the show by now, please.
Is that bad?
Listen, I don't know. I love Beetlejuice, right? Because I like Michael Keaton and Tim Burton. Beetlejuice is a great movie. Halloween, you should have watched this movie. Yes.
Freaking Filipino. What do you do in your spare time?
Live life.
Live life.
You play softball like once a week. Like what? Like
I used to play.
Explain to me how in like a 24-hour day, there's no
what are we missing
like.
here? What am I?
Hey, I'm gonna catch up on this show. I'm gonna watch this movie. Haven't seen any good movies. You suck.
Like earlier, before I had a child, I played softball 3 nights a week. I kept up with shooting, And
that's a good hobby.
I had things to do. And then you have a child, and then you do fucking nothing. Open up new Roth IRAs. Does that count? I don't know.
I mean, nothing wrong with dealing with your finances, but at some point you got to plug a movie in and watch it.
That's the problem. Like, I'm not a huge. I don't like to go back into movies, right? Like, I'll watch what's available right now. It's not like I'm gonna go hunt a movie down. Unless
dude,
you guys yell at me, tell me to.
You and Stovepipe are weird, dude. You and Stovepipe's
the same thing.
The hell,
Stovepipe doesn't. He was the same way. But I give him a reference for a movie, like older movie, he's just like, huh?
Look, get out of my corner with your Anderson Lower, goddammit.
The dude's referencing freaking lemon porn, but he doesn't know.
I'm not associated with that in any.
Oh God, that was good. SpongeBob isn't a sponge, but a tampon. He lives in the Bikini Bottom, is friends with Sandy Cheeks, and works at the Krusty Krab. Oh my God.
I've heard that.
I just thought about it. And I don't want to think about it anymore. That's horrible. So that's not real ketchup he's putting on the hamburgers then?
Oh, God damn it.
Who lives with a pineapple under the sea? Okay. Creator of the Walking Dead show says it was a space spore to play homage to George Romero in the comics. I didn't think he ever revealed it. No, they didn't. I think they just wanted to have fun with the audience on that. Let's see. What about all the Pixar movies are actually in the same universe but at different points in timeline? I have heard that, Theme Park, and I do believe that actually. That would make sense. Yes, I would agree with that theory. The only one thing, Meatball, people who newly turn into a zombie would be fast. Oh, because the zombies move slow in the show.
Okay,
I kind of get that.
I will say I've never watched Walking Dead, so I don't know.
Just watch the first 2 seasons. After that,
what? What?
You've never even seen Walking Dead? I mean, like,
throw
me a bone, bro.
What have you seen? Breaking Bad. I just finished it, like maybe a month ago.
Great show.
Like, I just finished Sons of Anarchy like 6 months ago.
Stovepipe said he's in your corner, Meatball.
Get out of my corner.
They're twins. They both have Anderson Lowers.
Hell yeah, on the lemon porn.
They don't watch movies.
No, I do not have an Anderson Lower. Don't put me with the pores.
Theme Park Casual is like, and I'm out. Sorry, Theme Park. I know this is not a family-friendly show, unfortunately. Jack Sparrow became a pirate because he didn't want to transport slaves.
Okay, I need to deeper into that one because I really like the Jack Sparrow character in all of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Like, I actually really like that series.
We have Nigel, dude. Whiskey Banger right now. I want you to this dude Nigel's Ninja November Neighborhood Niche. This dude has a gaming channel where he plays a million retro games. This dude was playing the EA NCAA game the other day, just different matchups, retro. He plays Ninja Turtles, he plays Double Dragon. This dude goes back. So if you have a chance, I'm gonna put your link in the description, Nigel. This dude, if you want to just watch retro gaming, this is the channel right here. Dude has got amazing content, so I'm gonna drop his link in the chat.
Did you see this? Awesome. Your wife and Stovepipe have not watched Walking Dead. See, I'm not alone out here.
No, she hasn't watched Walking. It's not her thing though. Like, she's not into that.
You might not be alone, but it doesn't mean you're not wrong.
I mean,
you're wrong.
I don't have anything coming back for that one because that's sound logic.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what?
Here, I'm gonna drop.
Remember that one time I beat you in a shooting competition? I remember.
Yeah, you know why? Because I was shooting a crap 9mm Glock that wasn't mine.
What was I shooting?
A crap 9mm Glock that was yours.
There you go. I mean, it was like it had some stuff done to it. It was still the same gun, essentially.
Who was I shooting? Was that Amanda's?
It was Amanda's, yeah.
Okay.
For the record, he was shooting
a piece of shit.
He was shooting a Glock 34,
yeah, it was stock.
And it was stock, like, it had the 3-dot sights on it and everything. And then I'm like, oh,
I don't think she'd ever shot it either.
No,
I think it was right out of the case.
No,
right out of the case.
I had to wipe down that freaking. I had to like lube it up.
I remember you guys telling me about that. Yeah,
I told Whiskey Banger, I'm like, you should have the advantage, my man. Like, I'm shooting just a carry G19. You got a competition ready 34, right? He didn't need to know that I had aftermarket everything on the inside.
Aftermarket
That's
stuff
like a
on it.
$1,200 gun.
Yeah, see, stovepipes, right? It's a liability, right?
All right, so
Total
I'm sorry, I'm
stock
just reading through it.
crap.
Stovepipe says I haven't seen Walking Dead. Stovepipe, you look like you're the Walking Dead. That's why. Wait. Vex Electronica. That's why
This
he has
is a
the EIT.
tale of Tony Montana.
That's a great
He has
music
the
video.
EIT tattoo at
Dude,
the
I
end as
love
well.
that song. It's
Jack Sparrow. I could see Jack Sparrow being opposed
I
to
wrote you a
slavery. He
big,
matches the
sexy
character.
hook.
Yes. No problem, Nigel. Shout out is no big deal. The Walking Dead, Walking Dead. Nobody's seen The Walking Dead.
Yeah, because it's trash.
Stovepipe says, was it stock?
yes.
Mine. Okay. So I'll come clean. Mine was not stock.
Come clean.
I had sent it to Agency Arms, and Agency Arms had done a bunch of stuff to it, and sent it back. And that thing is super Gucci. That's what I refer to as my Gucci Glock now. I probably have like $1,500 sunk into it by now, with no red dot, which is kind of crazy.
I agree with Vex. The Walking Dead was so good for like the first 2-3 seasons.
It was good. Yeah, after season 3, it got
good.
stupid. I followed it all the way up until season 5. I think I just couldn't do it anymore. It got so stupid.
Is it still going?
got
Is it done?
It's a lot. This is the last season, like season 50. It's like it's so stupid. Oh, by the way, I forgot to show everybody this. I'm so sorry. One of Mrs. Cannoli Sasquatch's friends at work got me this awesome Christmas ornament. It's a Sasquatch.
Oh, that's dope.
Yes.
Look at this
That is
badass thing. I don't know if you can see it very well, but
So
look
I
at it.
have a question for Mrs. Sasquatch.
Yes.
Is she bypassing like the fall Thanksgiving decorations and going straight to Christmas decorations, or is there a pause in between?
So normally we do the day after Thanksgiving is decorate for Christmas, like immediately. What we've been doing in the last 2 years is the weekend before Thanksgiving. And I used to be opposed to this, but time is a luxury. And lately, in the last few years especially, it's just been, you know how life gets crazy, right? Work, family, all this. So this upcoming weekend, this next weekend will be the weekend where the shit goes up, because we want to enjoy the Christmas
You're
stuff
going
up
Christmas.
the day after.
You're going
We're gonna
straight.
Yeah, so next Friday or Saturday, the Christmas shit will be up, because we go to my parents' house for Thanksgiving anyway. So when we come home, Christmas stuff's up. The next day we can actually enjoy it instead of doing all the work.
Must be nice to have a Thanksgiving dinner. Must be nice.
Well, I invited you to my house, but you didn't want to come.
Oh no, it's not like my mom's leaving the country. The wife and the child are leaving. You know, I'm here by myself with no Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, no, it is what it is.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
You got whiskey banger.
Dude, he's gonna be covered in Cheeto dust.
No,
Freaking watching stupid movies.
I ordered 2
Back to the Future.
like individual meals from Boston Market, 2 individual meals from Cracker Barrel, like Thanksgiving dinner individual meal. So I'm like, I'm gonna be stacked up, just walking around and be like, I'm gonna gain all this weight back.
Dude, I'm gonna bring you a huge plate of my mom's stuffing, homemade.
I would you don't have to go anywhere, because if you walked out of your house with it, I would literally be attached to your nutsack.
Jesus. Okay. I'll bring you. I was gonna say I'll stuff your turkey on Thanksgiving. Don't worry.
Don't worry, Whiskey Banger will be stuffed in all the right holes.
Wow.
Just for anybody out there, my mom makes the most amazing stuffing in the world.
I made a trade. This was back in the day of 5 cheese mac and cheese for his mom's stuffing, and the next day I apologized to Tanner and I was like, "Here's $50. I'm so sorry for what I tried to weasel out of you, because it is so good. It is so good."
Well, you go to your sister's house, right, Whiskey Banger? So she's not far from me. I can sneak by and get some stuffing real quick, right?
I'm telling you, if you've never had their stuff, his mom's stuffing, it's worth the drive from my house to go get it.
I like Vex is like, oh, it's getting spicy in here. You have no idea what happens.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what happens.
You don't want to know.
The chat's going crazy with fan theories, and yes, there was a Fear the Walking Dead show. I never watched it. I don't care anymore. Walking Dead's like Disney to me now.
Did anything spin off of Walking Dead? Like they spun off of like
Breaking There's Bad? A Fear the Walking Dead show, and there's another one, and they're making a whole new. Listen, they just need to end it, but they won't because I guess parents still watch it. Jacob Ironside said his mom makes a pretty good stuffing too. This stuff, it's one of my favorite meals of stuffing. Jamie
stuffing.
Mrs. Chloe Squatch makes a great because I'm still doing a keto-ish kind of Thanksgiving. She makes a great keto style stuffing. She's making keto style pumpkin pie, and obviously the turkey is keto friendly, right? Because it's turkey. So I'm good on Thanksgiving.
I'm really gonna try to do a prime rib for Thanksgiving this year, just for myself.
By the way, just so people know, we are going to have a Thanksgiving show this year. So the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I think we're going to try to schedule maybe a little shorter because it's a busy time, but we're going to do a pre-Thanksgiving show because we're not going to be on that Friday because it's obviously Black Friday that Friday. Everybody's going to be resting and busy.
Some of us are working.
Some of us are working. You have to work the day after Thanksgiving?
Dude, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, I have to work the day before and the day after.
What?
Why? Well, I got to work the day before.
My friend?
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy.
But I will say the half day on Wednesday and the full day on Friday is holiday pay, which is 3 times.
I was going to say, so yeah, then it's worth it then. Yeah.
Right. I'm not really mad about that.
Hey, after the weekend's in the chat. Yeah, I was on your show after the weekend. That was awesome, by the way. Thank you. Let's see. Ready for the chaotic Black Friday videos? I'm ready. That's my favorite part is the YouTube videos of people beating the shit out of each other for a $4 toaster. It's great. All right. Let me get to this other fan theory because this is one I like. Here, I'm gonna go. Okay. This is one I think we can all be familiar with. God, there's so many of them.
Oh my God. Do you not have your list done yet?
No, I do. Okay, here's one. Because I hate this movie, but I like this theory. So it's saying here that Jack from the Titanic movie is actually a time traveler.
Damn it, he stole mine.
Sorry. So the theory is based on the fact that he talks about a few things that have not been created at the time when the Titanic sank. There's a lot of theories on this. There's a lot of information on this theory, but one of the things of information was there was a lake where he said he went ice fishing as a kid, and now he traveled through time to find Rose and show her how different her life should be by breaking away from her unhappy life and current love situation. It's kind of a short theory, but there are instances in the movie where he's bringing up stuff that never happened, places that didn't exist yet, and that he was basically sent back to show her what she was missing, what could have been, what should have been. Why he didn't live through the movie is a whole different story, because that selfish freaking wench could have put him on the fucking piece of wood.
Part of the theory,
but that's why he had to die.
Part of the theory is that's why she never put him on the wood, because she realized, and that's why she said she'll never let go when she lets go with him, because she realizes he's not real, right? Like it's a ghost or time traveler or whatever, and lets it go, and then lives her life. Yeah, with that fat diamond in her fucking pocket that she
puts into the ocean.
There. Look, I can buy a lot of things. I can't buy a 96-year-old woman throwing straight gas like she's fucking Verlander in the series. What the fuck, dude? She chucked that thing at least 80 yards.
Well, that part of the, first of all, a fucking movie I can't stand. But no, not that I can't stand the movie, but it's overrated. But yeah, the ending of that movie where she throws away a stone for selfish reasons, right? She's like, oh, I don't want anybody to have this. This was my memory. You chuck a stone into the ocean that literally sets up your family for generational wealth for freaking hundreds and thousands of years, right? Nobody ever has to worry about money in your family, but because you want to save the stone, you got to toss it into the freaking dark ocean because you're selfish, because you banged somebody on a fucking
the back
boat.
of her uterus got worn out, and now she just cut that bitch out. God damn it! This one got me a little hyped.
After the weekend, you were right there, buddy. Well, who am I and where am I? I don't know where you are. Are you a time traveler too? Is that why you keep coming back? Maybe the necklace had Jack's soul. She was bringing him back. Oh, she was bringing something back. She wanted to bring back his soul.
It's called hepatitis.
Cannoli meatball banger. Yeah, that's what we are. The cannoli meatball banger. I like that. Sounds like a sandwich.
It's got a nice little jingle to it.
You just like the meatball banger part.
I mean,
yeah,
that's what you're thinking about, buddy. We're all here.
Domination.
Domination. 4-hour stream of Call of Duty last night. I lost time.
Get out of the fucking doorway.
Dude, I'm sorry. I was critiquing your gameplay all day.
That's what I'm here for.
And I just,
well, the beginning was good.
We got to train, bro. We got to train you up.
Yeah, I know. We're going to do that tomorrow. By the way, anybody in the chat,
yeah.
Whiskey Banger and I will be streaming probably at some point tomorrow. I'll put it on Twitter. By the way, I'm one of the cool kids.
I should be able to commentate that.
You should be on there. I'm one of the cool kids now.
All of this came at them.
I gave Elon Musk. I gave Elon Musk my $8 for verification, so now I have the blue check mark on Twitter. Thank you.
Oh, dude, you're so fancy.
Yeah. I'm so special, aren't I? I don't. I just wanted them.
I have a fan theory about the $8 check mark.
Okay, speak.
All right. So my theory is he allows people to get this blue check mark to devalue a blue check mark, right?
Yeah,
and then the devaluing process of it, right? Now he's going to offer the gold check mark, right? And to go through the gold check mark, you have to go through a vetting process where then now he can do reverse what they were doing, right? And censoring one side versus the other. Now he can just be like, oh, you were part of that censoring thing? Bye-bye, right? And just not give him the gold check mark and then actually put people that are fully like verified equally, fairly into that gold check mark place. And then on top of that, like have a diamond check mark or whatever that you that you sell to people that just want to spend like a G a month or something on just to have the diamond check mark. Because there are guys out there that like would pay ridiculous money just to have something that no one else can have.
Of course.
Well, they did before. There were people paying $15,000 to get that check mark before.
Right. So why can't he do it now with like a black check mark or a gold check mark or a diamond check mark?
I think his idea is to add value to the service. So yeah, I think part of it was to say, hey, you're not special because you're a celebrity, because you're a politician. Like everybody should be able to have access to this, right? The elites are going crazy.
Yeah, because they're no longer special, right?
Thank you. And that's his whole goal.
That blue check mark.
Yeah. So I think he also, from what I've been reading, which is great for us, is that he wants to help content creators in the future. He wants to make a competitor to what we're on right now, which is not a bad thing, right?
Rumble?
Competition's good. So
I watched the live stream.
Rumble, Odyssey, and the big Google machine. He wants to do it for all that. So Weird World Comedy is just throwing stuff out. Jack's bag is from the 30s in Titanic, and he mentions riding a roller coaster and visiting a lake that wouldn't exist for 10 years. So he's a time traveler. I actually agree with you. Yeah, he did get his value vex. He's gonna make he's gonna do well with that $44 billion. He'll make that back in no time. He's a smart dude. I like this theory because this I actually could see is the truth. John Coffey and the Green Mile was the next iteration of Jesus Christ. So he was like the next Messiah, kind of.
Jesus Christ had a really shitty credit score.
Jesus
hey, guy.
Wow. I love the Green Mile.
Right.
Have you seen the Green Mile?
I have. It was my dad's favorite movie.
Okay. So he's seen that at least. We give him that.
I'm impressed.
And I was like, just admit it. He was molesting those children when they caught him. Don't lie.
Oh, his AI tech. Okay, Vex, I see what you're saying. Where the hell were we? We always go so damn off base.
Do we need one? I got one.
Yeah, go. Oh, please, you go.
And this one's gonna mess with Whiskey Banger. In The Dark Knight, the Joker is a former military CIA mole that's placed in to create the right circumstances to break Batman in order for the federal government to take over Gotham.
Interesting.
So the Joker has all the weapons background, all that stuff, right? But the CIA dopes him up, does whatever they do with that MK Ultra kind of shit, and then lets him loose, knowing that the only way they can make Batman a bad guy, right, is to break Batman and make him go against his principles or whatever, right? And the Joker is the one that does it, and that's why he turns bad in the last one.
Interesting.
No? You buying this? Are we buying this? With? Damn it!
I'm not buying it. I like it. It's an interesting concept.
It's actually an interesting theory.
I was like, "Oh, that's good," but I'm like, I was not fully all over.
See, Vex has a point here, saying it would explain why they can't find any background on the Joker, which is true. And then, yeah, like she says right here, that's why he breaks completely in the third installment. So they wanted to get rid of Batman because they.
See, the problem I have is if this was a standalone, trilogy. Let's say that the Nolan trilogy is the only Batman anything. I could totally get on board with that. That's a very interesting concept. But I mean, you're talking to Mr. Batman here, guy.
Would you buy into it if it was a standalone? Would you say, okay, I can see that theory push through?
If I could erase 38 years worth of Batman knowledge out of my brain, yes, I probably would get on board with that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
I read it. I was like, "Oh, that's good." I don't know if I like you.
I like it.
I'm not fully on board with it, but I like the theory where that was going.
Right.
I like it. I forgot to do this for you, Vex. Before I'm going to put this in the chat. By the way, Vex Electronica has an Whiskey Banger. Another one for you, buddy. She has an awesome podcast, gaming podcast that she does, and it's not just gaming; it's pop culture stuff too. But she's into the gaming stuff. And in her podcast, I've listened to a few episodes. She gave me her link yesterday to the website. Awesome stuff. If you just want to listen to stuff in the background, or just in general, it's just quality stuff. Go follow it. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. And please, if anybody who's listening, go follow and subscribe to the actual podcast. And I'm going to put the website in the actual chat. So just little product placement for you there. But it's great stuff. Seriously, it's awesome.
You're awesome.
You're awesome.
I'm not talking to you.
Oh, you can talk to me. It's okay.
Who are you talking to?
I'm gonna go with you're awesome, and I'm not talking to either one of you. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I don't know why. I didn't bring this one up before. What the hell was that? Listen, I want you to like put me in line for this because I'm so stupid. We talked about this like a half hour ago. It's a Back to the Future theory. It's a Back to the Future theory. God damn it. So the theory is that Doc wanted to die in Back to the Future. He was trying to commit suicide basically and kill himself. So Doc Brown had lost everything in Back to the Future. He was considered a crackpot scientist. Who comes up with these words? When he invites Marty out to videotape the DeLorean travel back in time, he pulls him in front of the car and revs it up to 88 miles an hour. Marty even tries to get out of the way before Doc pulls him back. So what if Doc wanted to kill himself and Marty with him? A fan theory did suggest that Doc never thought the time machine would work, even if he had tested it for the first time. If that's the case, Doc was a suicidal villain trying to kill a younger teenager that was with him.
I actually buy that one more than the Joker one.
Oh, fuck
I do too.
Well, because there's a couple different angles you could go at. Like, yes, he was trying to, let's say he's trying to pull Marty in and like, hey, we're going out together, right? Because we're friends. But also, he's dealing with Libyans, gives him a shoddy freaking nuke that doesn't work, obviously. It's gumball machine parts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he didn't have a bulletproof vest and he wanted them to come get him and kill him in that parking lot. But he decides that once Marty goes back into time and he encounters Marty, he decides, you know what? I do want to live. And then reads the note, puts the freaking vest on, and he ends up living. So,
right.
I mean, it's definitely plausible.
I actually been hearing about this one for. Well, he can't. This Meatball's not going to add anything just because he's never seen the damn movie.
Fuck off. What do you want?
I actually
watch good movies.
What's it? What the Greatest Showman?
Battle LA.
Yeah, Battle LA is good.
Fucking The Sandlot, bro. It's so much better.
That's not even the best baseball movie.
Dude, but it's your favorite movie.
It is my favorite movie, but it's not the best baseball movie.
At least you could be objective about that.
Bull Durham.
That is a good movie.
That is a good movie. That is a damn good movie. It's probably one of my. That probably is the best one. Yeah,
I think it's the best.
Come on,
we're gonna stay on the Back to the Future train because
go ahead. Go ahead.
Again, like you, Cannoli, I wanted to bring it up earlier, but since fucking Filipino has no idea,
we got so off track.
Dude.
Go ahead.
My bad.
So there's a theory that I've heard about from a while ago, actually, and it was basically that the Goonies and Back to the Future not only happen on the same day, but there are some people that try to make links that they take place in the same universe too. It's pretty interesting.
Was that the same year those two movies were made?
Yeah. Well,
okay, go ahead.
So in the movie, obviously Back to the Future, you hop in the DeLorean and it's October 26th, 1985. That's the day, like when he's showing him the DeLorean and whatnot.
Right.
Now,
okay.
In the Goonies, there isn't a whole lot. You know, you kind of have to piece it together. You really have to pay attention. There's a scene where Steph, the nerdy blonde girl with the glasses, who's always yelling at mouth, when they were up in the Fratelli's like basement where the $50 bill, where the money machine
$50 bill.
She pulls a newspaper with the Fratellis on there and their mugshots, and the date on there is October 20. It's October 24th, which would be a Thursday, but they broke out of jail, and then it's the day after because they show up that Saturday morning. So, yes, technically it takes place on the same day. Now, there's some real stretches as far as like, oh, it's in the same universe. Like someone was making the claim that, okay, Hill Valley is a made up place, but it's in California, like Northern California. Right. And then Goonies is in Astoria, which is a real place that's in Oregon. So
Oregon, yeah.
Yeah, they're close and, geographically and whatnot. So it's a little weak as far as same universe, but I only wanted to bring it up because it's two of my favorite movies of all time, and Tim still sucks because he hasn't seen either one of them.
He's never seen any of them.
I don't feel bad about it.
You've never seen the Goonies either?
Oh, I've seen Goonies. Tanner made me watch it.
Oh, okay, good. And let me guess, you didn't like it.
It was all right. Like, I could see why if you watched it as a child, it'd be like a childhood favorite.
There is some nostalgia,
like super nostalgic. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I could see that. Well, getting off the Back to the Future train. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this one because this is one of my favorite movies of all time. One of Whiskey Banger's favorite movies. I don't know if Filipino people has ever seen this movie, but we'll see. So the entire ending, from when Cooper awakes at the space habitat onward, is actually Cooper's delirium before his death in Interstellar.
I hope that's true.
So he never actually got out of the Tesseract alive and never got to meet his daughter again. There's some subtle proof in the movie, like his daughter's family not looking at him when he walks to the bed at the end of the movie. I love Interstellar. I think Interstellar is a great movie until the end. I think the original ending they wanted to do, where he did not survive, kind of like what this theory is talking about here. This one I can believe because Christopher Nolan did not want the ending to be the way it was in the movie theater, where he did come back and got to see his daughter again. In the original script and test screening, he wanted it to be, kind of open-ended. You make up your own mind. I know there's a word for that in the movie business. I'm stupid and I forgot it. So he actually does die in the Tesseract, but he gets to save mankind, right? Because he gets the information to his kid. I actually like this theory. I wish the movie would have ended that way. And Vex is saying the same thing that we were saying. the movie, I didn't have too much of an issue with the father-daughter dynamic because there was, having a daughter of my own, I get that part. It just seems like the ending was a little too neat in how they did it. First of all, I'm so sick of him saying the word Murph every 5 seconds. Murph. I love the movie though. Like I love the concept of the movie. Yeah. The Anne Hathaway part was kind of dumb. Yeah. How she was saying love is like antiquated and it can spread across this and gravity and like how it can like supersede everything. I get what they were trying to do with the whole theme of the movie at that point. Because of the connection between him and his daughter, and then Anne Hathaway supposedly was in love with one of the scientists. There was a little bit of some gaps left there. What do you think about this banger though? Because you and I love this movie until the end. I actually like this theory. I really do like this theory, and I wish it would have just went this way completely.
I mean, I hope it is true because, like you were talking about a little bit ago, the original idea for the ending was supposed to be Matthew McConaughey stuck in the freaking dimensional whatever, and the movie was supposed to flash and like show, humans going off and like saving themselves, and then his daughter growing up and all this other stuff, but then flashing back to him stuck in this, timeless, endless void of a dimension, and then the movie's just supposed to end, and the word you were looking for is ambiguous.
Ambiguous. That's it.
To be just really like ambiguous. You don't really know exactly. Is he going to be stuck there forever? Yeah. Is something going to happen?
Is he dead?
Make some kind of technology to come get him. Who knows? Mm-hmm. And that's, to me, that would have made that movie a 10 out of 10 for me personally. But the real ending is stupid and horrendous, and it's cookie cutter. It's, you can tell
very typical.
They had focus groups watching it and just being like, well, I don't like this idea, so we're going to change it. And it's so stupid. So to answer your question, yes, I hope that is actually what happened. And that's just him.
That's exactly what happened. From everything I've read in interviews, that's what happened. Is not the theory, but the focus group thing. Like he actually listened and talked to people, and people hated the ending. And I know people want to hear a feel good this and feel good that. Even Vex Electronica said it here. Like it does throw off the entire point of the movie a little bit. Because the movie was great all the way up until that, and then there were that's why I think I like the movie Inception better. I love Nolan's movies. I think Inception overall was just fully put together better. Because I love the ending of Inception, right? Because it does kind of leave it ambiguous, right? You just don't know.
You don't know.
Does the top fall? Does it not fall? The whole. It seemed like, you're right. He went to that cookie. He had this great plan for this movie. It was great all the way. And the ending was very by the numbers, Hollywood. I still love the movie, but it does drop it from like that echelon of like Shawshank type.
Yeah. That's like
to a little notch
like
below.
S-tier movie.
Yeah.
That gets knocked down.
Like I'll still watch it. I skipped the end. Love Murph. Wolverine smokes. Wait. Real World City. He has a theory of Wolverine smokes cigars to drown out the other thousands of sentient takes due to his keen senses. I can buy that, right? Because Wolverine.
I can totally buy that.
I like that. Wait. Speaking of Inception, Shutter Island is one of the layers of. Here, let me put this up. One of the layers of Leo's character. And is in an alternate reality to the death of his children. Oh, because that is true. Because in the movie Inception, it was all about his kid. I can watch Inception 100 times and never get tired of that movie.
Bro, I watched Inception one time and I was like, I'll never watch this again.
Oh, and I wonder why. Because it wasn't Grease.
No.
Go Grease lightning, you never did.
Like
Grease lightning, go.
Sorry. The reason for I thought it was so good. I thought Inception was so good that like if you watch it over and over and over again, you can take different theories off of it, right? And you can make it into different things because of how well it was done. And I was like, I'm good with the way that it is in my head, and I never want to watch it again because that's what it's going to be in my head forever. That's why. Sorry,
but that's the point.
That's the whole point.
I don't want to watch it again.
See, like, dude, you're one of those dudes. You just want to watch a movie that holds your hand. pats you on the head, calls you pretty, and then wraps it up with like a beautiful little bow, and you're like, "Oh my god, this movie's amazing."
You gotta have some movies that kind of I don't know, man. I love Inception.
I think it's, to me, that's a top 10 movie all time for me, and I've only watched it once.
That's a great
top 10 movie. Never watched it again.
There are movies like that, I guess.
I agree with Vex. I want to hear more about Jacob's theory about Halo.
Yeah, so Jacobs, I was just going to read that. So Jacob says that Halo is the future of the alien universe.
I mean, they're
I
space
gotta
marines.
buy it. Yeah, I like that theory.
I like that one.
I could see it because if you follow, if you follow the plot of the games and it's the whole story and the lore, that does make sense, Jacob. So I kind of like that one. I can see that. Does anybody else have another movie theory, or should I just keep plugging away?
I got one more on my list before you steal another one. My last one.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
So this comes back to, I don't know what the next or the quote unquote last John Wick movie that's coming. Right?
Coming out soon.
Right. So I don't know how that ends, but this is how supposedly it's gonna tie. Is that John Wick is the prequel, if you ignore the ages of the actor, is the prequel to the Matrix. And it's how Neo learned how to be so deadly in the Matrix by being John Wick. And so in this phase, they're supposed to be basically John Wick is now going to be the savior in the Matrix. That's how it ties in.
But
so basically, let me wrap this around my brain. So basically, Neo in the Matrix learns all that cool gung fu stuff, and when he comes out of the Matrix, he becomes John Wick. That's what you're trying to say.
Other way around.
John
Wick learns all this stuff, right, and then ascends to a higher than a human person status and goes into the Matrix, and then saves humanity through the Matrix from the stuff he learned being John Wick.
It's interesting. I'm trying to process that whole.
How so? Then where does young Neo come from?
It's John Wick.
Just a nerdy computer hacker, though.
But John Wick. So he basically, from my understanding, downloaded John Wick into him.
Okay, like, so John Wick is like in the Matrix.
Yes.
And then Neo comes in, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you guys look a lot alike. We're gonna put all this John Wick gun fu in your brain."
Neo knows the technical side, but doesn't know the fighting side. So he selects John Wick to be the fighting side and implants that in and goes.
Interesting. I don't buy it.
It's interesting.
We can give it it all depends on the next movie, right?
Because what's coming out soon, yeah.
Right. If he dies in that movie, man, it doesn't really work. I don't know.
I mean, I it's an interesting theory. I don't know why that one's tougher than me than some of the other. Maybe. It's Keanu Reeves. The guy could do anything, right? So,
Johnny Utah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Johnny Utah over here.
I am an FBI agent.
I'm an FBI agent.
So we're getting into this Jacob thing with the Alien. So the Marines and Alien franchise have similar uniforms to the Halo Marines. Okay.
It's very true.
I like that.
Question, do they have pockets for crayons? No.
In light of yesterday being the Marine Corps' birthday.
True.
Hoorah.
What year was it? How many years?
Oh, I don't fucking know. Fuck the Marine Corps.
Jesus.
Dude, it's all about the Army.
Fucking
Army here.
On Veterans Day.
Fuck
he's a
Marines
veteran.
out there.
He's a veteran. He can say that.
Dude, I'm an Army grunt, dude. I can talk shit to the Marine Corps all day. That's all we do.
This is true. I've heard him do it. What is this weird world? Has an X-Men one. Charles Xavier did his best not to control those around him and failed keeping people in a passive state is why most citizens memory hole even after an event. Okay. Was that powerful. So I definitely can see that. Oh, here we go. So FX Electronic is saying, what happened to the xenomorphs, Jacob? Did they become the flood prize? See, they're going deep into the theory here. And the elite are predators. Jacob
they do kind of look like them,
yeah, they do. Actually, that's a good one. They do. I like this, Jacob Ironside. I like this theory you're going with here because I kind of see it actually. Let me see. I got an interesting one here. So people who have seen, obviously, I think everybody's seen this franchise and this whole trilogy. So this theory is about the Avengers. And I only brought it up because, the hell with Disney, but this was interesting. So this theory was that Peter Parker is actually worthy of wielding, how do you say his hammer name, Thor? Mjolnir in the Avengers Endgame. So basically it's saying if you haven't seen Avengers Age of Ultron in a while, you might forget that smaller details of the movie. Of course, it's been a while. One of the favorite funny moments is when Quicksilver sees Thor's hammer flying past and tries to grab it. But, the hammer just keeps going. He pushes him away and but however, in Avengers Endgame, Captain America tosses the hammer and calls out to Peter Parker, who then uses a web to grab onto the hammer at the end. And it flies through the air because the hammer never dropped. This person here thinks it implies that Peter Parker is genuinely a pure soul who is worthy of wielding the power of Thor. It's like a stretch. Because he's trying to say, because when everybody else tries to pull it, either they drop it or it carries them. But that's kind of what happened with the web thing, right?
Right.
So this theory is weird to me. It's like, it's kind of a stretch.
I'm not buying it.
Yeah, because I don't know if he's 100% pure. Like Captain America, obviously, was pure, supposedly. Even though in the She-Hulk, he was a virgin. They said, but that's why he was pure.
That's why he was pure.
Yeah, that is a better fit than silly Jane wielding it. Oh God, don't even get me started.
Oh my God.
This stupid new movie that just came out. Yeah, we're not going to go there.
Don't go there.
I'm not going there because hi.
Did
you go potty?
No, I had to go wash my daughter's hair because she freaks out when the wife does it. But
when the wife washes her hair? Yeah. What is your wife doing to her with her hair?
I don't know. It's bloody murder.
Is she waterboarding your kid while she's washing her hair?
You lied to me. I hurt you.
You stole that cookie when I said don't.
Dude, all I'm picturing is Zero Dark 30.
Jesus.
Oh, God. Those waterboarding scenes.
That is amazing. Some of the best cinema out there.
It's a great movie.
I'm going to put you in this box.
Which would you rather watch? Zero Dark 30 or 13 Hours?
Ooh. If I'm going to go pure this is hard because it's entertaining, but it's also disturbing. If I'm going pure entertainment, 13 Hours. Just entertainment. If I'm going story, I'm going Zero Dark 30.
Zero Dark 30 is fantastic.
It's a great movie.
My answer to this has always been, am I alone? If I'm alone, Zero Dark 30. If there's other people and other things going on, 13 Hours. Because Zero Dark 30 you have to pay attention to, and it's just so good.
It's a lot of detail. That's what I mean. It's more of you got to pay. The story's better, and there's some action in there, but it's more suspense build up to the end. But a lot of detail. Where 13 Hours, it's a Michael Bay movie. Whether or not it's a true story, there's a lot of shit blowing up.
Transformers Benghazi.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. So Real World Comedy says Mjolnir is sentient and has a will of its own. Yeah, apparently. In this Disney universe, everything's got a will of its own.
Not to cut that off, but did you hear they're making a different movie about a different version of 13 Hours?
No. A better one?
It's going to be not as about the action scenes as more like the details of the background of all that stuff that went into it, right? And they actually have the people involved in it that are now involved with it. And the big thing was they were trying so hard to get Christopher Nolan to direct it. but it doesn't have a director yet.
Christopher Nolan. I guess I could see him doing something like that. I don't know if that's his kind of move. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, he did a good job at Dunkirk, but he would have to kind of go into a different territory for a movie like that. I mean, he'd be yeah.
They were comparing it to like that version, that style, but going to like Schindler's List style, where it's like more in depth into the emotional side than the actual like action side.
I can see that. I can see that.
If Christopher Nolan does it, I'm standing in line first day.
I'm already in for his next movie, which is Oppenheimer, which is going to be amazing.
Yeah,
about the atomic bomb. Yeah, it's going to be freaking incredible. Yeah, so they're going crazy in the chat here about the actual Halo alien thing, and they're just dropping knowledge bombs. I actually like that theory. I played back when Xbox was, yeah.
Did you play Halo?
Yeah.
Like pretty heavy into Halo?
What?
Were you pretty heavy into Halo?
No. I mean, I like the games, but I was more of a Call of Duty guy.
Okay.
Yeah, Halo was, because, PlayStation, Xbox thing, I really didn't, but the theory makes sense from what I do know about Halo. It actually does make sense about how those two universes could be, especially like what they're saying in the chat here. It does make total sense. So we did the Peter Parker thing with Milnor. Did you have another one, Meatball? Did you have one about another movie? Wasn't there one we were just talking about during the week that your friend brought up a theory about?
Oh yeah, the 3-part of
the Home Alone. Was it Home Alone?
Home Alone. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting theory.
So it would be Frank is the uncle in Home Alone. Right, he's the one that kind of messaged with the Macaulay Culkin child. I don't even remember his name. Someone's got to figure that out. But essentially, Macaulay Culkin's character, Kevin. There it is. Thank you. Kevin's dad is a mafia boss, and I mean like the Don. That's why they're able to live in this luxurious, gigantic house. Take like 30 people on trips all wherever the hell they're fucking going. Right. All that stuff, but Frank is mad and jealous of it, right? So he hires the two bandits to like break in the house and do some stuff just to enact some revenge. Kevin gets left behind. Kevin does all that shit, and it messes him up permanently or whatever, right? And then eventually Kevin becomes Jigsaw from Saw because of the whole super like, oh, we're going to make a trap for you guys and sadistically torture all of you. So that's the fan theory is that that's how they are so rich. And then it turns into, that's him being a Jigsaw, and that he was, and then the one step back is that Kevin would have been like a hitman for the mob, but specialized in torturing people. Right. And that's how he devolves into Jigsaw.
That is a popular one.
I like it.
I can actually see that one. Yeah. Like Vex was saying here, she just brought up that same theory about how, Kevin becomes Jigsaw, of course, and then that's why he's so good at traps, because look what he did in the movies earlier on. So that kind of does make sense. But my favorite part is just the whole, listen, I do a pretty good Jigsaw impersonation. We did it for the Halloween short. It was one of the shorts or before that. And Jigsaw fucking cracks me up, man. You want to play a game? I'm going to lock this key around your penis, and if you don't get it, it's going to explode, and let's play a game. That kind of shit. It's my favorite character. It's that's basically what happens in the movie, right?
True.
It's kind of what he does, right? These people
how many Saws have you seen?
My wife has seen them all. I've only seen the first 3.
I've seen 2. I know I've seen 1, and then I
like the first one actually.
3. First one was pretty decent.
First one actually wasn't bad, and then after that it kind of got a little crazy. But I just love the little dude on the little bike, and he comes out, wee, wee, you know, you want to play a game? Why did you put your hand in the box of syringes, you dumb fuck? Now you're gonna die. I'm like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? And then half the time the trap is so easy to get out of, and you're just like screaming, throwing shit at the TV. You're like, you're a moron. I hope you lose your penis in the box. Why are you putting your dick in a box?
It's a dick in a box.
It's my dick in a box. Now you got me angry. There's so many. Wait, what is this? Gandalf actually planned to use the eagles to his last words to Maria after "Fly, you fools." Really? You know what? Why didn't he use those eagles to fly Frodo to the fucking mountain and put the ring in? That's what I want to know. Then the movie's over in 10 minutes, so it's just instead of 14 hours as the trilogy. Well, okay, so this is one that I have heard about. The theory that James Bond keeps changing actors' appearance because he is an expendable government agent that assumed the same 007 code name when the previous one dies. I can actually buy that.
Have you seen the podcast? Have you seen the podcast of the guy that says this is not a fan theory? This is what happens in the government?
No.
Like in real life?
Like real life. Like they have certain people in certain positions that have a name, right? And then they die or whatever. They just replace that person with the same name. It goes the same character, whatever. It's just a new person.
Right.
It's like, what was the movie that had Face in it? God, Liam Neeson was in it. Bradley Cooper. You make fun of me all the time.
18.
18, yeah. In the one dude that's in there that just it's replaced the same guy owner with Anderson or whatever his last name was.
That movie sucks.
They said it's true. What?
The 18 movie? No,
dude,
it's not a good movie.
That movie sucks.
What?
It's not the movie where they jump out of a van.
I'm not saying like it's cinematic gold, but like you don't find it entertaining?
No, because it's here's the reason why it's not entertaining.
Okay,
it's like there's certain movies where I can like, you know, take my disbelief for something and kind of just be like, okay, this is a movie like Star Wars or something. This is out in space. This is fantasy, whatever. This is like real life. This movie is real life characters, real life people in real life places, and they're playing like freaking parlor games with like these huge Connex boxes on the middle of it's all about the freaking sleight of hand bullshit. Like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Wasn't that the movie where they like fly a van out of the fucking back of a plane and it's just floating in air and then
no, they drop a tank out of the back of a plane and then they fly it.
Whatever. Wasn't that in Fast and Furious also?
I think so.
That's every Fast and the First. It's like 8. They went to the moon in the last one, I hear.
Okay, let me ask this. If you have to watch one, are you watching A-Team or are you watching The Losers?
Wait, The Losers is the comedy, right? With the...
I don't even know what the Losers
Wait, isn't the one with that? Isn't The Losers with David Spade and...
No.
Which one are you talking about?
No.
Benchwarmers. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong movie. Jesus. Wait, what's The Losers? Explain this, guy. I've seen every movie.
Captain America's in it. It's young Captain America's in it.
Chris Evans?
Yeah. Jeffrey Dean Morgan's also in it. You guys,
why have I
honestly never seen?
No, I gotta pull this up now because now I'm like super curious about what the hell
what he's talking about.
Let me see this. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I do remember this movie. I actually have seen this movie, but it's been a long time. Here, hold on. I'll pull it up because I do kind of know what this is. Oh, no. We don't want that to happen. All right. Hold on a second.
I can't believe Whiskey Banger's never seen this.
Never even heard of it.
Seriously?
Copyright. So this came out in 2010. So it's got Jeffrey D. Morgan, Zoe Saldana, Idris Elba, and wow.
There's some names in that movie. I always thought The Losers
look at the cast.
Version of A-Team.
Jason Patrick, wow. There's some interesting people in this movie. Why have I have seen? Yes, I have seen this movie. It's just been a long time. 2010. Wow, he was a nobody back then. That's interesting. All right, so now you're telling me I have to watch this movie. That's awesome.
I feel like you do.
Okay.
If I get homework,
I'm
I
down.
feel like Whiskey Banger should get homework too.
Bro, but I'm making you watch like amazing movies.
I'm making you watch movies that make me for.
You just said this is like. You just said this is like slightly better.
No, it's not slightly better.
18 is garbage.
If I'm 18, I'm rating it like a 3.5. This is like 3.7.
So this is like the dirt that's underneath the dog shit.
So if Vex is saying it was a sleeper hit, so I'm assuming she's saying the 18 was, and it was a pretty standard action movie with good chemistry. Okay, and there was it's Jake. There was a tank they flew out of the back. You're right.
I get where you're like, it's unbelievable. 18 is unbelievable. Like this one is a little bit more believable, but like not.
Well, I mean, I could suspend disbelief in a movie if it's like I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't one of my favorites, the 18, but I also haven't seen it in a while. But Liam Neeson is the main character, kind of just threw it off for me, and I like Liam Neeson.
I was gonna say, but like the big thing about that movie that I didn't like was the cast.
Mm-hmm.
You
I don't
Bradley
like
Cooper's
a lot of
face?
people in that movie.
Wait, did you watch the TV show?
Of course, I did.
80s?
I love the TV show.
Yeah.
And did you like the TV show?
I mean, it was fine for what it was. It was, but
it was a typical
show.
80s.
It was a goofy. It didn't take itself seriously. It was
Did
just
you
like
get
fun
that feeling
action.
in the movie?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
This movie, these dudes take themselves so goddamn seriously. Freaking Bradley Cooper. Now I will say I did like Rampage. I did like Rampage Jackson as
okay.
What's his name?
Murdoch.
B.A. Baracus, whatever.
Oh, Barack, yeah, he was good.
The pilot is the best. I fucking love him.
Right. Yeah, the 18 was great. I like that show.
Yeah, like I watched the show when I was younger.
It was a great show.
Like, the movie.
So I'm gonna go with the one of the last ones here, which we were just talking about earlier because this one's fascinating to me. This is one popped off the page for me. Is the movie Inception? Right, we're talking about a little bit briefly in the beginning about the ending of Inception with this one. So, in the movie, everybody had a totem, they called it, to where they knew that it wasn't reality or was reality. So this one says Cobb, which was Leo DiCaprio's character. His totem was not the spinning top. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. So we all know Christopher Nolan is a master of misdirection. If you watch his movies, you think it's going one way, it goes another. And his storytelling formula really came to light in the movie The Prestige with Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman. Good movie, very good movie. So in the movie Inception, we're told everyone has a totem, right? Something that they can hold on to and know the weight and feel of it, so they know whether or not they're dreaming or not. So his totem, Cobb's totem, we're told is the spinning top. So that explains at the end why people are like, well, what happened? Ambiguous ending, right? Here you go. So the spinning top in the last shot of the movie was driving people insane, obviously. Because people for months and years, even now, still like, what happened at the end? So the misdirection is that the real totem is Cobb's wedding ring. Cobb even mentions that the top wasn't his, but his wife's. So if you watch the movie, whenever he's dreaming, he's wearing the wedding ring. And when he's not, he isn't wearing the wedding ring. In the last part of the movie, you guessed it, he is wearing the wedding ring. So people think he was still, that was his totem.
Interesting.
Which I never noticed. I read that and I went back and watched some scenes and I was like, holy shit, that's true.
Never
because he does mention that.
Ever again.
That is his wife's thing, right? That's what he deceived his wife to believe when they were in the dream world, where he
took it from her and hid it from her.
Yeah. The wedding ring thing I never noticed. I don't know how I never noticed that, but it's true. Because every scene that he had that in. Bottom line is, I want to say that even if he was dreaming at the end of that movie, I don't know. Let the dude have his life back. Let him get to his kids. That is a fucking great movie, though. God,
I would say, like, even that theory, which I believe in, I do believe that theory. Like, it's just an applaud to Christopher Nolan's ability to manipulate that movie, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's just like if people want to argue who's the best director, that's one of the things you bring out for Christopher Nolan, right? Like his ability to do that.
Yeah, he loves the whole concept of time in his movies, in every movie. And then especially that one. He even did it in Dunkirk, right? Has everybody seen Dunkirk here?
Yes.
I mean,
I would say.
Have you seen it? Maybe I thought you saw it.
I have.
You fucking asshole. He did it in that movie because he messes with your mind and time about where each person is in the timeline, and it throws you off for a second because you're like, "Holy shit! Wait, that's how that happened." As the movie goes on, that's how this person ended up here. I love him. Oh, okay, Vex. I'm not going to give it away, but Dunkirk is a great movie because it's straight to the point. There's no love story bullshit. It's just about these people getting off this beach in a real life situation and how to survive. That's all it was, survival. That's why I liked it.
And I like, as a person that enjoyed history, like I knew what this was, right? Like I knew the story already. But like I was like, oh, here comes some stupid frilly love story of a love letter or something. No, it is downright gritty and so good.
Yeah. It's really short. It's only an hour and a half long, so you get right to the point. Some people had a problem with the lack of character building. I didn't need it. You didn't need it in that movie. It was just about. Yeah, you're right, Jacob Ironside. It was his wife's totem, in her dream world. Safe to say, even in the movie. What's his latest movie that came out? Tenet was it?
Tenet.
I love Tenet. I didn't love the movie. Let me rephrase that. I liked it. Same concept though. The whole backwards. I don't know. The guy's movies are just. I think he went a little too Nolan in Tenet, right? I think he went. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. Like where he was trying to do too much with the time thing, and it just kind of distorted the plot a little bit. But
Tenet is amazing.
It was still good.
But if you are not a Nolan connoisseur, you're not going to like the movie. Like you have to like his types of movies. You have to like Inception. Right. You have to understand Inception. Right. And even then, the movie is like I had to watch it twice before I really got like a good idea of what was going on.
Right. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say I just like his movies. Even his earlier stuff. So he's my favorite director right now. I'm looking forward to his next movie because you're talking about a movie about the atom bomb, how it was created. You know, there's going to be some time concepts in there and some weird science stuff, and I'm really looking forward to that. So I like this topic because there's so many theories, and I know we probably didn't get to all of them. There was the one about Blade Runner, right? Deckard being a replicant at the end, which I think they actually did confirm. Not long ago. Ridley Scott. That was a good one. Let's see. There was also, I don't know if you've all seen Pulp Fiction, where in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction, where it was actually Marcellus Wallace's soul. I think that was a theorized thing because you open it up and there's the light. There's a lot. But yeah, I like it. And the one that you picked, Meatball, was the one about Greece. That was one of the topics. Yeah, don't feel special about yourself.
Hey, go Grease Lightning.
Go Grease. Oh, it's a fucking movie. So we're about at close to the 2-hour mark. So today, I think we're gonna finish it up. I had a long freaking week. I'm exhausted, but I really appreciate you guys coming on as usual. We'll finish it here. I want to go ahead and thank everybody in the chat. I hope I got out all the subscription links that I could. Obviously, you got my merch store in the description. Like, subscribe, and share. I always say it. I didn't say it a lot today, but because you guys are doing it for me now, I really do appreciate it. I want to thank Stovepipe for dropping in. I want to drop Jacob Ironside, R2, JT Gunn. I mean, there's so many people. Joel, Mrs. Sasquatch, my parents, of course. Vex Electronica, awesome person. I really, please go ahead and Follow her on her podcast. I put the link in there before. I actually would love to collab with her on something eventually in the future. Jacob Ironside, another guy we're going to collab with. I have so many things going on with the YouTube community in the next week. I'm going to be a very busy boy. I want to thank all the new subscribers. If you're listening to this or going to listen to it in the future,
I'm going to slip into every single podcast you're on, and I'm just going to say something stupid and just to make you.
Jacob Ironside brings up a great point because yes, the scores of the Nolan movies are great because Hans Zimmer is the GOAT of movie soundtracks. Yeah. I love his movie soundtracks, especially in the Nolan movies. Yeah, you're awesome, Vex. We could talk pop culture. We could talk gaming. You know a lot more about the game. You and Whiskey Banger would go with the gaming stuff, retro and new, because he's a little more onto that. But I would love to talk gaming. Love to talk pop culture, movies, where everything's going. We can definitely chat about that. I will be back Monday on my show. We're going to discuss the movie Heat, and I have two YouTubers on there. I have White Bear. White Bear coming on and Copa Catania coming on, two up-and-coming YouTubers that are blowing up right now. So we're going to talk the movie Heat. We're going to do a discussion on that, a review. I did not know that there was an actual movie that Michael Mann made called L.A. Takedown. That was a made-for-TV movie.
I've seen that.
It's on YouTube. I watched it last night, and this is funny, Whiskey Banger. So
Whiskey Banger, have you watched that?
It's L.A. Takedown. It's like an hour-and-a-half movie on YouTube. It's a made-for-TV movie, same character names. Really the same premise of the movie, but you see where the heart of Heat came from. So he remade Heat later on with Al Pacino and De Niro. I was like, wow, this is insane. So we're going to talk about that. And then the movie Heat and why that movie is fucking fantastic. It's one of my favorite movies. I got some facts on that from my boy, Filipino Meatball on that. The Alien universe and the Blade Runner universe are the same. I kind of like that theory.
That is
a good one, Jacob.
It's true.
It is true. One, yeah. That one I actually do believe. I love Blade Runners. The Blade Runner movies are epic, especially 2049, which is
in both of those movies, the Tyrell Corporation is a key
component to them
being in the same universe.
Right.
But yeah, dude, Blade Runner, those two movies are my hands down favorite movies ever.
Blade Runner is amazing. 2049, I think, it's hard to say it's better than the original, but damn, it's good. It's an epic movie.
I would say
Meatballs never seen those.
I would say it's definitely a more epic movie than the original, but they're both just badass.
They're both great. It's a great two-piece. But make sure you watch the final. Was it the final cut? The final cut of the original movie is the better one. There's 8 different versions of the original movie. It's so stupid.
Sorry.
Final cut down. Hey, one quick question for Vex.
Yes.
What is your favorite video game of all time? I gotta know.
Oh, that's a good one. Vex, answer that, please.
Madden 95.
Dude, yours is MLB The Show 2013.
Well, it was a good game. But yeah.
I'm just so good at MLB The Show.
She has 3 favorites.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of in the same boat. I have like
it's hard. I got mine, but it's tough.
Yeah.
Why don't we ever do a video game one?
Oh, we will.
Great stream. Yeah. Hey, thanks for dropping by, Jacob. Appreciate you, man. Really do. Thank you for stopping by, and I will be checking out your channel.
Red Dead Redemption.
Dude, BioShock 1
is a great game.
Red Dead 2. I've never played Warcraft 3, so I can't speak on that.
You know, Vex, we always talk about Red Dead. I actually like Red Dead 2. I love the original one, though. The Red Dead 1 to me is just...
Dude, Red Dead 1
I will say Red Dead 2, when looking back now, I will say the game was ahead of its time as far as like visual style and storytelling. I mean, the game looks beautiful even now, and it's like, wow, how many years old? 5 years old? I'm going old school with mine. My one is obviously Link to the Past, Zelda game, Super Mario World, because I'm old. And I bet there's there's a newer game in there I probably could throw in there. It's just so many, man. Oh my god. I'll stick with those 2 for right now. That's a chat. That's a conversation we can have on. You know what we could do? We could do an actual video game show and bring Vex on with us.
Dude,
there you go.
I'm all about
Vex.
video games.
I might be chatting with you in the next few days. Maybe we could set that up if you're available. Let me know. The only reason why 2 beats 1 for me is the depth of the world. I will say you do have a point there, Vex. The first one had a nice open world. The second one's open world. The depth of it and the little details in the second game are incredible. So,
yeah, I agree with her. Like the first one. So like, I like the protagonist in the first one better. John fucking Marston, dude's a badass. But the world and the gameplay are just better in the second one.
You know, yeah. Have your office send me a fax. All right, Meatball, you're my little office bitch. I need you to send Vex a fax. Jacob Ironside says Warhammer. I know people love that
Yeah,
game.
my sister loves Warhammer.
Who was the one? Geeks and Gamers. Jeremy said his favorite game of all time was Titanfall. Multiplayer game was Titanfall. Said it's the best multiplayer game ever made.
Really?
Friday the 13th on
NES. Dude, Weird World's got some awesome. He's gonna do some streaming retro games. I love the retro stuff because that's just what I grew up with, right? So I love those. We're gonna do a video game show. Actually, maybe it'll be our next show. Just saying, Vex.
Pretty good
if you're
idea.
Available next week, maybe. Yeah. See, Titanfall multiplayer is supposedly, and I'm not just saying this because I remember playing Titanfall, but not a lot. Every person I've talked to in the last few months with Call of Duty coming out saying Titanfall. Do you remember playing Titanfall, Whiskey? I've played it, but I don't remember much. But
it's great. It's not my favorite multiplayer though.
No, but it is good from what I remember.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's
so maybe next week, maybe next Friday, we can do a video game, just a general chat about video games. Oh, okay. Apex is in the same universe. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, so maybe Vex, if you're available next Friday, maybe I'll chat with you on the side through Twitter. That might be a good segue right before Thanksgiving. Just do a light show about video games. Meatball, can you actually do a video game chat? Have you played video games?
You got homework to do.
Here's my thing. Recently, like I would say last 7 to 10 years, I've been mostly sports games. Right, okay. But if we're talking like old school games, like childhood games, I'm in for that.
Oh yeah, GoldenEye. Let's go. Oh, God. Slappers only.
I'll say this. I will take that back. The only game that wasn't a sports game that I played the entire series through is Assassin's Creed.
I actually like the
one. I love the first one's my favorite.
I've only played the Assassin's Creed, the middle trilogy. What is it? Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. Okay. And I love Origins. I love Odyssey. Valhalla.
Valhalla was my least favorite.
It's too big. It's way too big, and the story just keeps going. And then the final payoff was. I like the Viking lore. I like the world. Like parts of it were great. You get lost in those games. The Origins one right now is creeping up to my favorite though, because the world building in Egypt and all that's freaking amazing. But I loved Odyssey because of the Greek culture, the Greek history, and favorite. You go to Sparta. They talk about Leonidas in the game. You open up the game as Leonidas fighting in that war against the Persians. Freaking amazing. I remember when I was playing that game, I was texting Whiskey Banger dude, we're going to Sparta and Leonidas and blah blah blah. It was amazing. Yeah, Black Flag is not bad about it.
Black Flag is I always say if you play Assassin's Creed all the way through, right? You play all of them. Like you have to take the first one out because it was so different than the rest, right? And the rest build off of the first one. And so like Assassin's Creed is just more ceremonial one for me. It's not the best gameplay of them, but it's ceremonial one. But Black Flag by far is the most fun.
Black Flag is awesome because it's an awesome pirate game. Like it's just a cool. Yeah, they do. I will say though, Assassin's Creed has kind of gotten away from the Assassin's Creed.
Yep.
Like the actual Assassin's part. Origins did underperform, and I think it might be the best one they made in this. In this newer trilogy. Valhalla just was too much. I remember
they just had too much info. They had like too much into it, and
too many side quests and too much bullshit, and it's just too long.
Valhalla was a great game, but it shouldn't have been an Assassin's Creed game.
No, it didn't feel like
It
an
should have
Assassin's
just
Creed. 100%.
been
That's a
some
fair
Viking
assessment.
game.
Yeah,
because I enjoyed
we
it.
could talk
It's
about
great.
all this.
But yeah,
I liked
we're
it.
going on.
No, but I liked it. You're right. I liked the game. I enjoyed playing it. It's just I didn't like the frick. I think I told you I put over 100+ hours into the game, and I still didn't even do half the side shit. It's like it just got too bloated. Odyssey, I just loved because of the world, that whole Greek mythology thing. I love. I'm always fascinated with that. And Origins, you feel like you're in Egypt, like you see the pyramids back. It's just they actually took a lot of information based off of real history and did a great job rebuilding those worlds. Let me see. That's why I've read and why it has such a monumental impact on gaming overall. Just for some reason. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy. I
can't get into it.
I can't get into it either. I understand. Listen,
I
respect the fandom. I understand why it's popular. I just never got into it, which is weird because they were popular games when I was a kid. Like that whole stretch, all the way until now. Yeah. So anyway. That's definitely a conversation we can get into. We can talk about this. Hey, maybe we can who knows? Maybe we can grow the panel for a big show right before Thanksgiving, and then we'll do our Thanksgiving show. We'll see. I'll be in touch with a few people after this. Anybody else? Any parting thoughts? Whiskey Banger, Meatball, anything to add?
All I know is Filipino needs to watch more movies.
You need to watch more movies.
You bitch.
Good topic, though. You had a good topic for tonight. I appreciate the topic. So,
I have a disclaimer for everyone.
Yes.
With the holidays coming up, I would highly recommend contacting your credit bureaus and having your credit locked so people don't open a bunch of credit cards with your name.
By the way, do you remember when T-Mobile had the breach like last year at this time?
Oh,
you remember that? Not only did I lock and freeze all my credit, I have the next 2 years free of credit tracking.
Did you see how much T-Mobile got fined for that?
Yeah, a lot. They pissed me off on that whole situation.
With a B.
Yeah. You all have complimentary facial hair, Vex said. Aw. Thanks,
the problem is I can't grow a beard.
I can't either.
The goatee, I know I'm at an angle. I have white. I'm old. This is gray. I'm only 40-something years old. Gandalf the Gray. I am Gandalf the White. There is a retro Friday the 13th game. Do you remember that, Whiskey Banger, from the NES? Yeah. It was actually a pretty good game. Yeah, it's hard. This is why I want Whiskey Banger on that panel. He's got a game collection that's insane. His sister's got a game collection that's unbelievable.
Dude, her Switch collection and GameCube collection are
ridiculous.
Okay, some of us just got a Dreamcast. Calm down.
Dude, I'm proud of you. I love the Dreamcast.
I never had it.
Dreamcast is awesome. So I will definitely be talking to some of you people off to the side, and we'll get a panel together. Maybe that will be in the next show. I don't know. But it's definitely, I'll be in touch. All right, Meatball, Banger, I know it's late. Banger, if you are not busy tomorrow at some point, Call of Duty, dude. I'm available pretty much the whole day. I will be spending some time in the morning doing my edits on my YouTube short stuff and clips. I don't think I'll have a ton from this show because I'm going to be doing so many other shows during the week I can clip from. I'm looking forward to Monday show. Please, if you're listening, come watch. If you've never seen the movie Heat, please go watch it. I think it's on HBO Max or rent it. It's freaking amazing. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, great movie. We're going to talk about it. And then Wednesday, I'm on JT Gunn show, late night with Cap. And Friday, we'll be back, maybe with the video game podcast. So thank you. Love you all. I will see you all next week.